What's up, everybody? It's HBT with Straight Up Wrestling Show, man, here live. And guys, hey, Ring Wars are going down this weekend. We have a lot of things happening. We got wrestling. We got two big wrestling shows coming up. We have Wrestledream from AEW. They will be doing Wrestledream. And we have No Mercy coming up tonight, this evening. No Mercy at 8 p.m. NXT will be doing No Mercy. And like I said, AEW tomorrow. On Sunday, we'll be doing Wrestledream. So, hey, that's a new pay-per-view, and we'll see how that thing turns out. But tonight, like I said, we have Wrestledream. And don't forget about AEW Collision tonight. AEW Collision tonight be rocking at 8 p.m. on, I think it's on TBS, or is it TNT? I think it's TNT. I'm not sure. One of those two, but I do watch it. So hopefully, they'll be rocking it out tonight. But they will have some stiff competition as AEW will be going up against AEW Collision, will be going up against No Mercy. So, man, that right there is going down, and both of them will be going up against college football tonight. So I don't know what big games are on slate tonight in college football. I haven't really looked at the schedule, which I usually do, but I haven't looked at the schedule. I've been watching so far today. I've been watching the Colorado game versus USC, University of Southern California, and Colorado is down by 20 points, 34-14. Not surprising to me, and this is something that I saw at the beginning of the year before it happened. I saw them losing to Oregon too. No surprise to me at all, but hey, Deion Sanders is doing this thing. Got a lot of celebrities coming out, and the fans in Colorado is excited. Man, they are packing the house up there. But man, yeah, I'm here to talk about some wrestling, so I'm gonna go ahead and break down the two shows, talk about the two shows that we're going to have this weekend, NXT, and we're going to have the AEW shows. So we're going to talk about No Mercy. I'm going to talk about AEW Wrestledream. I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about Canelo Alvarez. I'm going to talk about some boxing, man. I'm going to talk about Canelo Alvarez versus Jamel Charlo. Sometimes I get them mixed up, Jamel and Jamal, because they're two brothers that wrestled, these two twins. But Jamel Charlo is the one who will be taking on Canelo Alvarez. So this right here should be a great fight, man. And so definitely I want to get into both of those. So guys, give me just a second as I get into my laptop here. Yeah, sorry that I'm a little late. I was scheduled at 1:50, but I ended up losing track of the time, man. So I'm running a little bit late, but hey, guys, we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this most definitely. Make sure I don't have anything in the back hindering what I'm doing. What in the world? Something's going on here. But, yeah, welcome to the Straight Up Wrestling Show, man. Glad that you're coming in. But, yeah, we definitely got a lot to cover, a lot to unpack here. And pretty much, like I said, talking about these ring wars, man. A lot of wrestling going down. But, yeah, I am going to briefly touch on boxing. I'm not going to really get into that, but I'm going to briefly talk about boxing, and I'm going to break that down a little bit because, hey, that right there is a huge sport. That was a huge sport to me before I really got back into wrestling. And like I said, I have been watching the football game, Colorado Buffaloes versus the USC Trojans, man. And the Buffaloes are down. Like I said, it's no shock that they're down like that, but that's okay. It's okay that they're down. But give me just a second here, guys. I want to get set up right here on the computer, on my laptop, before I start talking. I mean, just in case somebody come in, I want to be able to go over to the computer and look and see what's going on here. So give me just 1 minute, and I will get started here, guys. I will get started. A great day for some wrestling, man. Great day. It's just a great day for sports overall. Overall, great day for sports. Like I say, No Mercy. They're going to be doing their thing tonight, man, and I can't wait. And I can't wait to see Becky Lynch and Tiffany Storm. Becky Lynch defending that title. Will she hold on to the title? Are they going to, let Becky Lynch stay over in NXT for a period of time? Right here, this match right here is going to tell us a lot, guys, of how everything's going to be going down with this. All right. With her being in NXT. Oh, what in the world's going on here? Wow, that's not what I was trying to do. So, man, give me just a minute, guys. Give me just a minute. I went to something I didn't expect to go to. I went into the Facebook on the laptop. They usually don't happen. It's kind of crazy. All right, guys, let's get on into this. Let's get on into it. We're gonna start talking about we're gonna talk about No Mercy first. I know you guys looking at me. I'm getting set up and everything like that. Sorry about that. Yeah, I am getting set up. Should have already been ready. But I don't know if you've been watching the football game, but man, that football game, it's been something. That's just the way it's gonna be for Colorado for a while. I don't know if you're a Colorado fan or not, or if you can't stand Colorado, but man, it's gonna take a while before Dion really get that thing going the way he wants to get it going. It's gonna take at least 2 to 3 years to be really competitive and be able to be on the level that the hype is on. Straight up. I mean, that's the way I see it. All right. Give me just a minute and we'll be ready to go. We'll be ready to rock and roll, guys. I have no clue what's going on here with my laptop, man. I really don't. Okay. Should be just a moment and we're gonna get started here. Seem like I'm out of focus a little bit. That's okay. All right, guys. All right, NXT No Mercy tonight, man. Hey, these matches are in no particular order. I just pretty much copied them off the website. I don't know exactly which matches, which is going to be the first matches wins, which is going to be the last match. So let's go ahead and roll down. Wow, I cannot stand my tablet. That thing is messed up. All right, man, let's talk about the Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton match for the NXT Women's Championship. It's going to be under Extreme Rules match. It's going to be an Extreme Rules match. So Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Storm. Man, Tiffany Storm has really surprised me of how good she is. Very athletic, very talented, very long. Can get a lot of things done in the ring that a lot of women can't do. Now, she's not the tallest wrestler, but she does have good size on her, and it kind of shocks me the athletic ability that she actually has. I mean, she's the way her body is. I wouldn't have thought that she was that type of wrestler. She has a lot of speed, and man, she's for her experience, the experience that she has in the ring, she's pretty solid. Can she match up with Becky Lynch? Yes, she can. It's been proven that she can. Now, Becky Lynch has a lot of experience. Becky Lynch is a top-tier wrestler, and I think Becky Lynch don't have to think too much when she gets into that ring or what she wants to do. And yes, I do think Tiffany has a little lack of experience. Her lack of experience is going to be hard on her in catching Becky Lynch at the right moments to try to get a win from Becky Lynch. Is she going to give Becky Lynch a great match? Yes, she is. I think it's going to be a great matchup between her and Becky tonight at No Mercy. So that's something I don't believe that you want to miss. I don't want to miss that match. It should be a great match, guys, between those two. And Becky, man, Becky is capable of putting up 5-star, 4-star matches against a lot of great wrestlers. And this right here is I see no reason why it shouldn't be. It should be between 4 stars and 4.5 stars on this matchup. But under this Extreme Rules, I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be a 4.5-star match. So get ready for a great match. Everybody, man, that's going to be checking this thing out. Becky Lynch and Tiffany Stratton. This is a match that you do not want to miss, in my opinion. All right, next we have Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov And this is for the NXT Championship match. And I know these matches are not the first two matches, but this is the way they have it written down here. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll with that the way they have it. But Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov, man, an NXT Championship match. And I remember when Carmelo Hayes first started, hey, I didn't think he was going to win that tournament, but he ended up winning the tournament. And this is where we've gotten to with Carmelo Hayes. I mean, Carmelo Hayes is the NXT champion. And there's people out here, man. One of our listeners, he like to get out here and call him the paper champ, but hey, he's a real champ. I'm not gonna say he's the absolute best over there in NXT, but very close. He's one of the top 2-3 guys at NXT. Should he have beat Bron Breakker? I'm not sure. Bron Breakker, it seems that Bron Breakker is taking a lot of flack. A lot of things are happening to Bron Breakker because of what his dad did at that WrestleFest or whatever, WrestleCade or whatever it was that his dad did, and the backlash has come to Bron Breakker. But Carmelo Hayes is the champ. He's definitely the champ. He's a great champ. And, I mean, he's a great wrestler, great overall performer. And like I said, I was shocked when he won that tournament, but he won the tournament, man. And Carmelo has been out here. He's been doing his thing, and he's got his thing going. And when he says he don't miss, he don't miss. He hits those. He hits that leg drop coming off that top turnbuckle, and hey, he lays out his opponents. So big ups to Carmelo Hayes, man. But he is wrestling a monster, Ilya Dragunov. And I remember when I first saw Ilya Dragunov, first time I saw him, my partner Christopher Burton introduced me to him, told me go over to NXT Europe, check out the match between Ilya Dragunov. Check out Ilya Dragunov versus the big monster that we know as Gunther. Ilya Dragunov and Gunther, man, put down some great matches. Nobody can deny that. Great, two of the best matches that I've seen in years. Just put it that way. I'm not going to say in history, but yeah, I mean, I can put them in the top 20. Both of those matches, top 20 matches. Great, outstanding, hard-hitting matches. They went crazy on each other. And I saw in Ilya, I saw a guy who in Ilya Dragunov is nowhere near as big as Gunther, but gave just as good as he got. And this man has come, when he came to NXT in the United States, didn't seem like he was going as hardcore. But now he's going as hardcore as he was over in NXT Europe. And it's, man, I tell you, he's hard to handle. He has been taking care of his opponents, taking apart his opponents, and he's taking care of Carmelo Hayes' friend, man, Trick Williams. He destroyed him twice. One time, Trick Williams interfered, and one time he beat him, beat him in a one-on-one matchup. Trick fought back and fought hard, but man, Trick had to take the brunt of Ilya Dragunov. I mean, Ilya Dragunov, when he pours out his drink, man, when he pours out his rap, he gives it to you all the way. And I mean, this is a hardcore dude. And this match right here, it's a 4-star match, man. It's a 4-star match. But I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and go a 4.5-star match with this too, because Carmelo Hayes is gonna fight back. He is gonna fight back. He's gonna bring the pop, man. He is gonna give it everything he has in here against Ilya Dragunov. But I don't think Carmelo Hayes is gonna take this match. But man, wait a minute. I don't think Ilya Dragunov is gonna take the match. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Carmelo Hayes in this match. I say Becky Lynch retains, and then I say Carmelo Hayes will retain in this match, even though I would like to see Ilya Dragunov win the title. For some reason, I feel like Carmelo Hayes will hold on to this title again until the next pay-per-view, NXT pay-per-view. I feel that he's going to hold on to the title. I could be wrong, but I see 2 4.5-star matches of the matches that I've talked about already. Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton. That's a 4.5-star match out of 5 stars. 4.5-star match for the Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov match. It's going to be a great match, guys. You don't want to miss this match. This match should be outstanding, and it should get your juices flowing. And man, it should get you. It should make you happy for watching wrestling this weekend. And you talking about a match that you could put out to the general public, and the general public will get interested in, or you could put out to the casual fan and they will watch. It's this match right here, Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov. All right, next, man, we have Dirty Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams for the NXT North American Championship. Like I said, these matches are in no particular order, but this right here should be a great match too. I look forward to a great match between Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams. Now, Dominic Mysterio, I'm gonna go ahead and say it like this. Hey, I like Dominic Mysterio, like what he's doing, and I think he's great right now for the sport, man. You know, him being a heel, the man can't even talk when he goes on SmackDown or he goes on Raw. The fans just boo like flipping crazy. But yeah, tonight, man, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, who was supposed to be going against Mustafa Ali decided, hey, this wasn't for him. He took off. He either got the can or whatever, or he took off. But my whole thing about it is Endeavor or WWE, being as professional as they are, if they did let him go, they're not going to get out here and they're not going to pretty much try to embarrass the guy and say, okay, we let him go. But I know Mustafa Ali's been asking for his release. Everybody say for the last 2 years, for the last year, he's been asking for his release. But, I think he might have went in there and asked for some demands. They decided, hey, you're not worth it, and let him go. But either way it go, we're past that. Trick Williams versus Dominic Mysterio tonight, man. That's what's on the plate. So that's what we're going with. I would have rather seen him and Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali, I think, who has more experience in the ring, would have got Dominic. He would have gave Dominic a better match. Now, Trick Williams, man, Trick, very talented, a huge athlete. A big-time athlete. He is an athlete. He played football at University of South Carolina. Wasn't a great football player, but it doesn't mean he's not an athlete. He is an athlete, and he's going to bring that into the ring. Dominic Mysterio, pretty good athlete himself, real good size for Mexican wrestler. Hey, not all of them are big, but yeah, he's got good size for a Mexican wrestler. But Trick is bigger than him, but these two well matched up. I look at Dominic Mysterio still in my head, still in my mind. He's a C+ wrestler, and Trick Williams is probably at a C, a little bit over a C. Now probably around C+. He was at around C-, between like a C and a C+. Not C+ yet, but this right here is a C+ match. So I say 3.5 stars, but 3 stars. I figure this match will end. It will be a 3-star match, but it will be a very entertaining match. And I think it's something that you don't want to miss. But I think Dominic Mysterio continues to hold the NXT North American Championship. But I look for this to be a 3-star match, man. Straight up, I don't think it's going to go no higher than that. It could be a 3.5-star match because of the entertainment value that it's going to bring to the fans, because it's definitely going to be entertaining, guys. That's what I believe. All right. Next, man, for the NXT Heritage Cup British Round Rules match. This right here, this match, it finally come down to it. Butch pretty much went through all the preliminaries, man. He took out everybody. It took him out in pretty strong fashion, too. So Butch will be taking on Noam Dior for the Heritage Cup. And this right here is under the British rules. Man, Noam Dior has fought a lot more of these matches, and he's more familiar with these rules. But I tell you what, Butch is going to come in, and Butch is going to pretty much take his limbs, and he's going to try to twist and turn and pretty much, do some things that the human body is not set out to do, that we wasn't put on this earth to do, as far as with our fingers and things like that. So Butch is definitely going to attack those extremities, and he's going to, like I say, he's going to turn, he's going to twist, he's going to do whatever it takes, he's going to bite you, he's going to do whatever it takes to win this match. Can he beat Noam Dior for the NXT Heritage Cup, which I think Noam Dior loves that cup, and I think he's going to do everything he can to hold on to that cup. I think Butch loses this match, man, even though he went through those preliminaries. Hey, he's a great member of the Brawling Brutes, but my man Pete Dunne, Butch, he loses this match, man, to Noam Dior. This right here is I say 3.5-star match between Norm and Butch. Noam Dior and Butch is going to be a 3.5-star match. Ray Underwood says, hello, Harry and the Straight Up Wrestling family. What's up, Ray Underwood? Glad that you joined me, man. But yeah, so I have a 3.5-star match for this Noam Dior and this Butch match, guys, on NXT No Mercy. Like I said, the Becky Lynch match and Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton match. First match, 4.5 stars I got so far, guys. Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov. I say 4.5 stars on this match, too. And let's see, Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams, I say a 3. That's going to be a 3-star match. And then I got the Norm Dior versus Butch match. It's going to be a 3.5-star match. And the winners, I say Becky Lynch is going to defeat Tiffany Stratton to hold on to that NXT Women's Championship. And Carmelo Hayes will defeat Ilya Dragunov, even though Ilya Dragunov is going to beat him up. He's going to beat him up. He's going to defeat him, and he's going to hold on to the NXT Championship. And then we have Dirty Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams. I think Dom holds on to the NXT North American Championship, even though it's going to be a pretty good match, but it's only going to be 3 stars, but it's going to be a really good match. They both pretty good athletes. Norm Dior versus Butch, man, I say it's going to be a 3.5-star match. And like I say, it's going to be in segments. Remember, guys, this thing is segments, but I think Butch will take one, he will take one round, but I think Norm is going to take the other 2. If it's 2 out of 3, man, it might end up being 3 out of 5. But I think Norm is going to end up taking it. He wants to hold on to that title. He's going to do whatever it takes. And look for Metaphor to get involved some kind of way. Now, if the Brawling Brutes is there, if we have Sheamus and we have what is their partner? Sheamus and we have the other one, Randy or whatever his name is. Can't think of his name right now. Can't believe I can't. But if we have those 2 there, then it might offset what's going to happen with Metaphor. But Metaphor, I look for Metaphor to get involved in this match, guys, straight up. All right, next, man, we have the family versus OTM. Okay, the family versus OTM versus the Creed Brothers versus Los Lotharios. Okay, NXT Tag Team Championship. It's going to be a fatal 4-way match. Okay, the family. Oh, I don't like the way they put this down. The family versus OTM. Versus the Creed Brothers versus Los Lotharios for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Look, man. This right here is Tony D'Angelo and Stax versus the Creed Brothers, Los Lotharios, and Lucian and Bronco. Bronco Nima and Lucian, what is Lucian's last name? I forgot Lucian's last name. The new guys, the new kids on the block, those are big dudes. But I don't know why in the world they didn't, because they had it. I had the names there. Lucian, it's Lucian Price and Bronco Nima. Okay, it's not on here, but I'm just remembering. Lucian Price, Bronco Nima versus Tony D'Angelo and Stax Lorenzo versus the Creed Brothers versus Los Lotharios for the NXT Tag Team Championships in the fatal 4-way match. Now, the Creed Brothers have had the titles before. We have Tony D'Angelo and Stax Lorenzo. They are the champs, and I think they're great. It's a great tag team. I love their dynamic. I love the way they attack people in the match. Tony D'Angelo is a star, straight up, man. He's a star. Love his segments and everything, and I would like to see those guys keep the titles. Now, the Creed Brothers, I think the Creed Brothers have great chemistry together. Great chemistry together. I want to see those guys go far. Now, Los Lotharios, that is a great tag team. Could have been a great tag team on the main roster. I don't know what in the world happened, but for some reason, they started dropping off, and it could have been Vince was trying to push them, and when I think Triple H took over, that's when they started having that fall. But Los Lotharios, very talented, probably the most talented team. Not the most talented. After the Creed Brothers, they probably the most talented team here. Lucian Price and Bronco Nima guy. If I'm saying the names wrong, guys, I'm sorry. But I think that's their names. But those 2 guys right there, they knew they just getting their feet wet. They're green. But hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they propelled them to the top. They look like stars, and I think they want them to be stars in this division. But my money, I will say, is I'm going to go ahead and keep it on Tony D'Angelo. Tony D'Angelo and Stax. Somebody's going to lose the title here, guys. But everybody I see so far, I think is going to end up winning. I think the Creed Brothers is going to push Tony D'Angelo and Stax the farthest. I really do, even though I think Los Lotharios is a little bit better. But they're going to push them a little bit farther. This match right here, I say will be a 4-way. This fatal 4-way match is going to get 4 stars, guys. They are going to go all out in this match. The Creed Brothers are incredible. Los Lotharios are incredible. And anytime Tony D'Angelo, the reason I pick this, the reason I say this, because every time he's in one of these type of matches, man, he overperforms. He's outstanding. So yeah, definitely going to be a 4-way I mean, it's going to be a 4-star match. Price and Nema, they have a lot to learn, and they will learn a lot in this match. All right, guys. Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. Okay, but before I get into this Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin, let me answer my man Ray Underwood says, remember Dragon Lee is the guest referee against Dominic Mysterio. Wow. Some stuff could go down here, man. Some stuff can go down here. Gonna be interesting. Gonna be very, very interesting. Thanks, Ray. Thanks for that. All right, Ray says they are saying Trick Williams may cause Carmelo to lose his title. And that might be setting up a thing between with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Because look, it is heading that way. Trick feel like he's disrespected. That Carmelo he's concentrated on other things, and and Trick wants to be his own man. He wants to be his own star. And what other way, as far as in wrestling, is no better way to do it. No better way to do it when it boils down to it is the guy who's right beside you, who everybody feels is better than you. So I guess that's the way Trick want to go about it, because Trick wants his respect, and that's the way he can get respect. Because right now he's in Carmelo's shadow. He's in Carmelo's shadow, and that's the way he sees it, and that's the way everybody else sees it. So the only way to come out of his shadow, unless you're an outstanding wrestler yourself. When you're outstanding yourself, you don't need to come out of somebody's shadow and prove that you're better than them. Then you could go off on your own and do your thing, and people are going to respect that. But people will always look at him as, hey, man, you just Carmelo's sidekick. You his boy from the neighborhood and everything. So, yeah, he feels he has to come out of that. So, hey, might be a snake in the grass. And a lot of, I hate to say it, a lot of people from the hood, man, that's how they do, man. That's how they do. Crabs in the bucket might be trying to pull him back down. So Trick Williams, he might come in and try to do his thing and pretty much make Carmelo Hayes lose his title. It's not just that, man. It's just, not tricks, crabs in the bucket or whatever. These guys in wrestling, man, they like to see each other take a fall. It's every man for himself. Every man for himself. Unless you a tag team, and I'm talking about an old school tag team like the Anderson brothers, man. Let's see, Ricky Steamboat, Jay Youngblood, Jack and Jerry Briscoe, Terry Funk and Dory Funk. Let's see who else, man, that never would have turned on each other. Ray Cribbler Stevens and Pat Patterson, people like that. Those guys had each other's back no matter what. Ric Flair, Blackjack Mulligan, no matter what. They didn't turn on each other. So unless you're a team like that, that have that type of loyalty, guys, anything can happen. Anything can happen. A friend can turn on you at any time. All right. Ray Underwood said, remember Dominic got in his head on Tuesday. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Sure did. Thanks for reminding me of that, Ray. But he sure did, man. It's crazy. But yeah, this should be a very good match. The heck is going on here? Okay. Man, look, I need to turn off my phone. I got people texting me and things like that. I don't want them to be doing that. All right. Next, man, we got Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin, guys. Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. This right here. Braun Breaker is a menace to, man, he is a menace to society. Braun Breaker will break you up. He will tear you up. And what a fight. What a fight on Tuesday night that these two had. Braun, I think Braun would have killed Baron if people wouldn't have came and pretty much got involved in it. And sometimes, even though Baron Corbin was fighting back, he was putting up a great fight, and he dished out his punishment too. But sometimes when other people come in and get involved, they can hinder the other person and they can help you. All right, I just got another text, but I definitely will get into this in just a moment. But guys, let me go ahead and finish up. All right, but yeah, sometimes these people, they can come in, they can get involved in the fight, and they can hinder what you're trying to do. The person that's not as good as you. When somebody coming in, they holding this other person back, and they holding you, even though they holding both of you, it gives you a chance to get in there and get your shots in and do certain things. Now, we know Baron Corbin is a great athlete. He's a great athlete. Both of these guys, former football players, both of them made it to the NFL. But Baron Corbin, like I say, great fighter, great athlete. He's a great wrestler. Do I think he's been mistreated? Yes, I have. And I think he could have got over. I think they could have put him to a point, put him in different scenarios to where he could have been one of the best wrestlers on the main roster. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Everything that they tried to do with him, we have seen fail. You know, the best run I think he had was when he was on NXT the first time, and he was the lone wolf or something like that. I think he was the lone wolf. But yeah, they both. It's a great matchup. Let's just go ahead and say it's a great matchup. But Bron Breakker, man, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. Let me go ahead and be straight up. This guy's a superior athlete. He's a superior athlete. He is an outstanding athlete. And let me say this. And Chris and I talked about this before. And, you know, we got a short up here, and it talks about this. We started talking about it, but we put it in, you know, we made a short on it. And, yeah, he's better than, you know, Chris said he's better than his dad. He's a better wrestler than his dad and his brother. I mean, his dad and his uncle. He is, man. He really is. This guy is a pure athlete. A pure athlete. Now, Rick and Scott, you know, they was college athletes. They was superstars in NCAA superstars. They were superstar wrestlers. Man, Scott and Rick could put you in so many different holes and so many different suplex variations. Incredible. This kid, he didn't go to school for this. He learned on the fly. He's natural. Outstanding wrestler. Could end up being one of the top 3 to 4 wrestlers for the next 10 years if WWE decides to give him that opportunity to be that. They're gonna have to get off this Rick Steiner thing or whatever happened. They're gonna have to get off this thing. Let this guy fly, man. This guy is a superstar, hands down. He's a superstar, hands down. But he's a young guy, man. He's 25 years old. He's a young guy, and so there's a lot of time there. But don't let him get frustrated to where you lose him. Straight up. All right. Ray Underwood says, laptop here. Remember Von Wagner was last attacked by Bron Breakker, so I could see Von Wagner interfering in the match. Remember Von Wagner was last attacked by Bron Breakker. Yeah, so I could see Von Wagner interfering in the match and causing Bron Breakker to match. Wow. What a scenario, man. I hope that don't happen. Last time I seen him, I mean, Bron beat the living daylights out of him, you know. But he could interfere in it. I don't want that to continue on. I don't want Bron Breakker to end up continuing in a feud with Von Wagner. And Von Wagner, very good, have improved tremendously. But Bron Breakker don't need to get stuck in a feud with him. It's an endless feud. It doesn't make that much sense because Bron Breakker is that much better than him. He's way better than him. So he doesn't need to get stuck in a feud. If you're going to keep Bron Breakker in NXT, Bron Breakker does need to wrestle guys like Von Wagner, but it needs to be once, maybe 2 more times and move on. Have a little small feud with Baron Corbin. Go back to feuding a little bit with Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams. He needs to wrestle a variety of wrestlers. It doesn't need to be a feud. You don't need to have a feud with Bron Breakker because this man has shown and proved that he goes through everybody that they put in front of him on NXT. So have him in those matches. It's going to take a while before he's really built back up to where you put him in a feud with somebody to be on his level. When it boils down to it, let Ilya Dragunov, like if Ilya Dragunov end up winning this title tonight or winning the title in the future, have him basically come back up and Bron Breakker taking everybody out, and then he's back fighting Ilya Dragunov again. You know, it's him and Ilya Dragunov in a feud, a huge feud this time. And let this thing be, man. Let this thing rock out. Because when it boils down to it, even though Ilya Dragunov is wild and crazy and he's a hardcore fighter, he's not as skilled as Bron Breakker. He does not have that power. He does not have that speed that Bron has. But everything that he does in the ring is good enough to slow down Bron Breakker. So I think he can, pretty much put some dents in that engine that's Bron Breakker. That man, that powerhouse that's Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker. Not many people can do that, and Ilya Dragunov can do it. But Braun Breaker, man, he's something special. If they're not gonna put him up on the main roster, that's the way they need to play him. All right. Ray says, then I see Braun Breaker going up to the WWE, going up to the main roster. No doubt about it. They're going to have to put him on the main roster. They do. I mean, there's nothing really there for him unless they, like I said, go with that scenario that I just now pointed out, unless they want to put him in a tag team or whatever. But then you got to make a tag team division special. You just do, which they have not done. They got some good tag teams over there, just like WWE, AEW got some good tag teams. There's good tag teams out here now, man. But nobody wants to take tag team wrestling serious. And over at AEW, you know, where I'm skipping a little bit, over at AEW, Tony Khan, he just seems like he's interested in this trio stuff. But that match right here, Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin, man, I see this match. I see a 4.5-star match, guys. I said 4 stars at first, but I see a 4.5-star match with that too. Wow, it could be close to 5 stars. All right, man, we got Kalani versus the next match, man. We got Kalani versus Blair Davenport. Kalani is a very talented young lady. I like Kalani. What is her? Kalani. She got a lap. Kalani Jordan. Okay, they didn't put it on here. Kalani Jordan. I definitely like her. She's very talented. Blair Davenport got some talent too. But this match right here, I see a 2.5-star match. I think it's going to get to about 2.7. 2.7. It could venture over and get to 3 stars. Blair Davenport has to carry it to get it there. Kalani just she does not have the experience yet to get that match to that. But man, it should be a decent match. So I'm going to give it at 2.5 stars. And I say it's going to be a thumbs up. I think it's going to be a very good match. And it's going to be something that's going to build Kalani Edwards up. I mean, not Kalani Edwards, but Kalani Jordan, I think is going to build her career up by going against Blair Davenport, man, straight up. All right. But yeah, so far, as far as this right here, yeah, and I'm gonna say Kalani Jordan's gonna win that match. Braun Breaker is gonna take care of Baron Corbin. Okay. Let's see. Norm Dior is going to hold on to his Heritage Cup against Butch. Dirty Dom Mysterio is going to take care of Trick Williams. He's going to hold on to the NXT North American Championship. The NXT Championship match, Ilya Dragunov probably will become the champion. Ray, when I think about it, now that you said something about that, Trick will cause him to lose that title. Carmelo Hayes might end up on the main roster over there on SmackDown with Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. That might happen. That may happen. But Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams probably go at it a couple times before it happened. But that's probably going to happen. Thanks for reminding me of that. So you might be right with that, Ray Underwood. Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Storm. I say Becky Lynch holds on to the title because I think they want to make her look serious as the champion and a real champion over there in NXT. So she will hold on to the NXT Women's Championship against Tiffany Storm. But this is going to be a very good match. And Tiffany and her, they should go at it a few more times. Guys. But that's NXT No Mercy. I can't wait to see it. At least I think I'm going to be watching it unless I end up going to one of these shows out here tonight. I have no clue. I'm going to see what my podcast partner want to do. Chris may want to go to, he may want to go to 3 Count Championship Wrestling tonight or APW or something like that. I don't know. But him getting off work, and I know it's a hard day, he may want to stay home and watch No Mercy, but we'll see. All right, guys. But NXT, man, this looked like a 4-star show all the way. I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be a 4.5-star show. It seemed like a great show. It seemed like it's a great lineup, great show. I say 4.5 stars. This is going to be at least a 4.5-star show. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a great show tonight. All right, guys. But next, man, let's talk about AEW Wrestledream, the full card. Now, man, this Wrestledream, it has the full card, but it doesn't have. There's some preliminary matches. I didn't get those, but we have the Claim. The Claim gonna be in a trios match. I forgot who they're taking on. I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of those guys that they're taking on, but they're gonna have a trios match, and they're gonna have a couple more matches before they get into the regular card. But the regular card, we're gonna go down the listing here about on the regular card. All right, man. First match of AEW Wrestledream. All right, first match, man. We're going to have Bryan Danielson. This is not the first match, man. This match is not in order. These matches are not in order, so I'm sorry about that. But Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr., hey, he has a lot of dreams, a lot of hopes. This guy's young. He wants to end it for Bryan Danielson. He wants to be the legend killer. He wants to, take Bryan Danielson out. And we know Bryan Danielson of this generation is one of the best wrestlers that we've seen in this generation. In the last 20 years, Bryan Danielson has definitely been one of those top wrestlers, man. I guess you can pretty much put him top 10 status. I'm not going to go top 5. I know a lot of people will, but I'm going to go and put him in that top 10 status. So Bryan Danielson will be taking on Zack Sabre Jr., and Zack Sabre Jr. is going to go all out. Hey, Tatiana, how you doing? Glad to see you. Tatiana is in the house. What's going on? Glad that you joined the family. But Zack Sabre Jr., I think, is going to put up a great match against Bryan Danielson, but I think Bryan Danielson, I don't think he lose at all. This match right here, Bryan Danielson is going to go home. He's going to take this home. He's going to win this match. He's going to take Zack Sabre Jr. out, and he's going to show Zack Sabre Jr. that he's not ready to retire just yet. He has a lot left in the tank. All right, next we have a great match. Now, like I said, these matches are not in any particular order, at least I don't think. But they have listed Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. Now, this match, I really look forward to it. I really do. Now, Swerve Strickland, they have been building him up. They have let Swerve Strickland come out and do his own thing, do his thing, and become a star on his own. I mean, when he first came into AEW, they had him out there with Keith Lee, and Swerve. It just didn't seem convincing to me. It really didn't. Even though he was saying Swerve's house and everything, people was getting behind him and all that. But man, it just seemed that he wasn't all there. He didn't give his all. I don't know. When he was with Keith Lee, seemed like when they had their matches, he wasn't giving their all, except for when they went ahead and won the titles. They had the titles for just a little while, but it seemed like he held back, and you could tell, like, hey, he wanted to be the man in charge. Now he was the man in charge at one time before, when he was over his group Hit Row. So Swerve Strickland said, hey, I'm a leader. I want to be a leader. So Swerve Strickland, now he's his own man. He's leading, he's the leader, and he's the leader of his group. All right, Tatiana says, I believe Darby confirmed his match with Christian will be the main event, unfortunately. Wow. Thanks for that, Tatiana. Wow. That don't seem like a main event caliber match to me. Not at all. So hopefully it's a good match. I know Darby is going to go through a wall. He's going to do what he can. Darby's going to fight hard as he can, man, to make this the greatest match on earth. Christian is a great wrestler. He's great. He's outstanding. His resume speaks for itself. But Christian right now, man, Christian on this leg right now of his career. Christian is not going to go out all the way in. Christian is going to look for shortcuts. He's going to do whatever it takes. He's going to look over at Luchasaurus and try to get other people involved. But we'll see how this thing plays out. And will Luchasaurus loyalty come into play here? Will Luchasaurus stay loyal to Christian Cage? We don't know. We have no clue. All right, but Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page. This match right here should be pretty darn good. Man. And Adam Page, look, I'm gaining more respect for Adam Page. I'm beginning to like Adam Page a little bit more than I did before. And I think Adam Page, I think he's going to go at it with Swerve Strickland, man. I think this is going to be an incredible match. Incredible match. This match can hang anywhere between a 4-star to 4.5 match. 4.5 star match to 4-star match. I say 4 stars on the lower end. That's the lowest I think it can go. If they let these guys get in here and at least for 17 minutes to 20 minutes do what they're capable of doing, that this match is going to be anywhere from 4.5 stars, 4 stars at the lowest. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is going to be a 4.5 star match. I have confidence in both of these guys that they're going to put together every single thing that they have in their bodies to give us a 4.5 star match. It's going to be very entertaining. I think people are going to look forward to seeing it. Bryan Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr. I think it's going to be a 3.5 star match. it could get up to 4 stars, guys. It could get to 4 stars, but I'm going to say that'll be 3.5 stars. I'm going to say the next match, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Adam Page, I'm going to say that's going to be a 4.5 star match. So look forward to that. And then we have FTR versus Aussie Open Man and AEW Tag Team Championships. Now, FTR, every time they get in the ring, these guys are incredible. They're 4-star tag team. It doesn't matter who they go against. It's a 4-star tag team. They put together 4-star matches. If it's a tag team match, they're going to give you 4 stars or above every single time out. These guys are great competitors. Now, only time I haven't seen 4 stars from them is when they're in a trios type match, or it's a 4-way type match that you might not get that out of them, but you're still going to get around 3.5 stars. And even when you see these two in singles matches, which Tony Khan puts them in a lot of singles matches, these guys, both of these guys, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, they both give you almost a 4, usually give you a 4-star show. Doesn't matter who they're wrestling. So I definitely say it's going to be 4 stars. And Aussie Open, Aussie Open is going to have to depend on their quickness, because they don't want to get locked into a technical matchup with these guys. If they do, they're going to lose the match. But I say this match right here is going to, I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be a 4-2. So at 4-2, I have it at 4 stars. I say it's going to be a 4-star match. It's going to be an incredible match. It's a match that you don't want to miss. And I say Aussie. I'm looking for Aussie Open to take this match. My heart is saying FTR is going to take this match, but my head is saying Aussie Open is going to end up being AEW Tag Team Champs for some reason. I don't know. I'm gonna roll with Aussie Open that they're gonna win this match. Okay, 4 stars, guys. But FTR most likely probably hang on. But I think FTR's run is coming to an end, at least right now. And I think they will regain the titles a little bit later on down the road, or something's gonna happen. But I think FTR, they could lose this match, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and roll with Aussie Open on this match, guys. All right, next we got MJF versus the Righteous, guys. MJF versus the Righteous. Hey, Adam Cole, baby, is hurt. So MJF is going to be in a singles match. I mean, not a singles match. He's going to be in a handicap match. This is one thing I don't understand. I don't understand it. It doesn't matter that Adam Cole got hurt. Doesn't matter. You shouldn't have your world champion in a handicap match here. You shouldn't. You shouldn't have your world champion in a handicap match on a pay-per-view. Come on, Tony. What are you doing, man? What are you doing? What are you doing? Wow. And that one guy, for one of those guys for the Righteous Brothers, what is his name? Whoo! God, the big dude. What's his name? Anybody chime in? Tatiana or whoever. What is his name? That guy's a killer, man. That guy is a killer. And his intensity is incredible. His intensity is incredible. He reminds me of Big Boss Man, Big Bubba Rogers, one man gang. Let's see, Bam Bam Bigelow, Big Van Vader. He has that type of intensity. And is he going to bring that against MJF with both of those guys in the ring with MJF? And if he does, you can have your world champion getting hurt. You don't want that. You don't want that. MJF, incredible wrestler. Now, MJF has a lot of pride. Now, if MJF gets in there and wrestles the way he's capable of doing, MJF is another one of these wrestlers. 4 stars, man. He's a 4-star wrestler every time out. Every time out. If he wants to be. Now, he'll get in here and he'll do a great job against these guys. But he needs a partner, guys. He needs a partner. I say there's going to be a 3.5-star match. And I say the Righteous, wow. I say the Righteous end up winning the tag team champs. His name is Dutch. Okay, thanks, Tatiana. Thank you. I say the Righteous is going to end up winning that Ring of Honor tag team championships, man, in this handicap match. He needs Adam Cole. So, yeah, I got to give this to the Righteous, guys. All right. So, yeah, 3.5 stars. Even though my head is telling me MJF is going to win the match, but I don't think so. I think logically the Righteous should win the match, guys. The Righteous, logically, they should win. That makes sense right there. That's the logic behind this. Is the Righteous should win the match. Like Tati said, this guy Dutch, man, the Dutch is incredible. the Dutch will eat you alive. Okay, next we have Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi versus Kensuke Takashita, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay. All right, man. 6-man tag team match. This match right here should be very good. Gosh, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega. Wow. You know what? I was so caught up into so many different things, I didn't even really pay attention to it. I remember hearing it and saying, okay, Jericho is going to be teaming up with Kenny Omega and Ibushi, man, but didn't pay much attention to it. This right here should be incredible. And, and when I look at it, I have to break down the abilities of every single one of these wrestlers. Man, it should be an outstanding match. Should be an outstanding match, guys. Wow. Look, I'm not gonna sit here because look, we got top tier wrestlers, man. You have Chris Jericho, even at this stage, man, he's still a top tier wrestler. And I'm top tier. I'm talking about an A wrestler. Kenny Omega is an A+ wrestler. I say Jericho right now is an A- minus wrestler. Kota Ibushi is pretty much almost a top tier wrestler. I say a B+ wrestler. Even Takashita is at that B level. He's a B level wrestler. Sammy Guevara is an A wrestler, but very dangerous. And Will Ospreay is a A+ wrestler. So you have a great core of wrestlers here in this match. I got to give this match 4.5 stars. I think it's going to be a 4.5 star match. I really do. It's going to be an incredible match. And we're going to see a lot of things, man. We're going to see a lot of things that really get us excited. So I look forward to this match. Hey, big ups to AEW. Even Tony Khan, if you book this match, big ups to you. But, man, I would rather see Kenny Omega heading for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'd rather see him in singles matchups. Chris Jericho should be leading somebody, even if it's one person. Chris Jericho should be a manager of at least a couple wrestlers, just like he did with his group before, but Chris Jericho should be wrestling singles matches and pretty much wrestling against guys. And I know some people think, hey, it's good for him to put over people and things like that. But Chris Jericho should be wrestling, he should be a legendary wrestler and end up, defeating guys that's coming up. I mean, really defeating guys that's coming up, but not defeating the top 4 guys that's out there, but pretty much still in the spotlight. You have him, Chris Jericho, taking on guys like, in battles with people like Trent Beretta. But you have him beating Orange Cassidy or somebody like that, guys who's trying to, Orange Cassidy, I know he's got a lot of popularity or whatever, but Chris Jericho still is skilled enough to take out Orange Cassidy. So that's what you want to have with that. And, man, Takashita is just something. This guy's a terror. He's the next Great Muta if he's used right. He's Great Muta over there. And you have Don Callis lead him and let him be a Great Muta in the AEW. Sammy Guevara, he's incredible. Sammy Guevara, they're doing everything they can to get Sammy Guevara over. They look like they was going to try to turn him into a face. It didn't work, man. Nothing's working. They are doing everything they can to get him over. But him being with Don Callis and all those guys, I think is great. Let him do what he does and let people boo him to death. It's going to get to the point where, maybe a couple years down the road, take a couple years, that he's going to get very popular with the fans again. But the fans, man, they have decided they can't stand this guy, and that's where it sits. But this right here, 4.5 star match. I look forward to that match. All right, Christian Cage versus Darby Allin. And my girl Tati just said that this match right here, unfortunately, might be the main event. So Tatiana, yeah, and speaking of Tatiana, go check out the young lady. Check out her reviews, guys. She's great. But yeah, Christian Cage versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. Now, this belt, like I say, Luchasaurus should feel a certain way. I would. Man, he should feel a certain way, because when it boils down to it, the man got the belt, had the belt pretty much swiped from him, stolen from him, jacked. God almighty, man. Christian Cage, his whole run, Luchasaurus he won the title, but his whole run, Christian Cage jacked his title, man, and claimed it for himself. So, man, I wouldn't trust Luchasaurus if I was Christian Cage, and I wouldn't blame Christian Cage. I wouldn't blame Luchasaurus one bit if he left Christian Cage for dead or jumped Christian Cage, did something to make Darby Allin win the match. But let's go ahead and talk about what this match is going to end up being. Darby is going to fight to where he's going to give a 5-star fight. He's going to give a 5-star fight. His effort is going to be 5 stars. What he's able to do is going to be 4 stars. Let's see. Christian Cage is going to give us 3.5 stars. That's all he's going to give us. He's going to give us 3.5 stars. I want to give this match 4 stars, guys, but I think it's going to be 3.5 stars. This match, I think Christian Cage is going to keep that match to where it's 4.5. I mean, to where it's 3.5 stars, man. I really do. How in the world did I do that? All right, but yeah. I'm going to roll with 4 stars, guys. I think Luchasaurus is going to get involved, and this match is going to end up being 4 stars, guys. I'm going to roll with 4 stars on this match. All right, and I will say, wow. I want to say Luchasaurus causes Christian to lose the match. Darby's going to end up being the TNT champion, guys. I think Darby Allin will win this match. I think Luchasaurus is going to end up doing something to make Christian Cage lose the match, even if he doesn't attack him or whatever. He's going to do something to make him lose focus, and he's going to lose the match. So I'm rolling with Darby Allin on this one, guys. All right, next we got Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart. Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart. Chris Statlander, she's been a mediocre champ at times. A couple times she's been pretty good, decent, but she's pretty much been a mediocre champ, and she's defending against Julia Hart, who they have elevated very quickly, guys. Very quickly. I know she's in the House of Black, and that right there has helped the status, have put her out more in the spotlight, more than when she was with the Varsity Blondes. So Julia Hart, yes, I know she's very athletic, was great cheerleader and everything like that, and she's very athletic in the ring. She can do a lot of stuff. But is she ready to be the TBS champion? I don't think so. And I don't think she has the ability to defeat Chris Statlander yet. So I see this as a loss for Julia Hart. I don't see this as a great, outstanding match. I see it as a good match, though. I give the match 3 stars. I give it 3 stars. I think Julia Hart she's between 2.5 to 3.5 star wrestler. So I'm gonna say she's a 3. She's a C level wrestler right now, but she's getting better. She's getting better and better. When it all said and done, she'll be a B+ wrestler. In no ends and buts about it. But she's pretty darn good. But Chris Statlander will take this win. So I see her taking the win and taking it home. All right, Ray Underwood. Harry, question for you. Do you remember the wrestler Adrian Street? What do you think of him? Yeah, I remember Adrian Street, man. Adrian Street was an incredible talent. Incredible talent. Small stature, like 5'7", I think. Was like 5'7", but definitely was a great wrestler. Paced his matches, made other wrestlers wrestle his match, and did a superior job. Man, he was one of these wrestlers that you hardly ever seen lose a match. And I mean, when I first started seeing him wrestle, he was up there in age, man. He was already like 50 years old. He was already back in the 80s. You know, when I first saw him, or maybe I first saw him in the 70s, he's already in his 40s, man. This guy, and like I said, yeah, he just passed away recently. But exotic Adrian Street, and I remember back in the 70s when he called himself Nature Boy. He called himself Nature Boy. Adrian, was it Nature Boy Adrian Street? Exotic Adrian Street. Am I thinking of the same person? Ray, I'm getting him mixed up because it was somebody else that pretty much Adrian Adonis copied him. I think it was Adrian Adonis copied him. But yeah, definitely remember exotic Adrian Street. But very good wrestler. Like I said, man, he made other people wrestle his match. Very incredible. Did a lot of incredible things in the ring. And he was up there in age. He was up there in age by the time he really got popular. in the 80s. He was in his 40s. He was in his late 40s, mid to late 40s when I first started watching him in Georgia Championship Wrestling a lot. Now I did see him in Mid-Atlantic and things like that back in the 70s. He was okay, but yeah, he changed his image and got more flamboyant in the 80s. So he became exotic Adrian Street. Back in the 70s, he was like Nature Boy Adrian Street, and then he just was Adrian Street, and he wasn't exotic like that. But yeah, great wrestler, Ray Underwood. All right. Tatiana says fans are saying Darby match is the main event because Edge will be there. Laugh out loud. Wow. But Edge will be a free agent on October the 1st, which is tomorrow. Okay. So if he's there, he can't compete. Wow. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if he shows up. That'd be stunning. And look, that will be a huge get for Tony Khan. And, Tatiana, like I said before, and me and Chris have said it plenty of times before, this man is reactionary. He's a very reactionary type guy. Anytime the WWE, if they do something really big, Tony Khan is looking to do something to either top it or match it. That's what he does. That's what he does. He's got to get interest back on AEW. So I wouldn't be shocked he went out there and poured out and he sent the Brinks truck up to Edge's doorstep and convinced Edge to be there tomorrow. Because this thing with Jade Cargill is huge. But you know what? He caused it, man. He caused it. It's like Eric Bischoff letting Stunning Steve Austin leave. Eric Bischoff didn't think much of him. He went up to WWE, became a superstar. And I said this from the get-go, from the jump. When I first seen her, I was like, what in the world? And then I seen her in the ring. Even though she was green, I could see that superstar that's in her. They're going to make her a superstar big time over there in the WWE Performance Center. Everybody needs to get ready for it. Every single AEW fan that they need to get ready for it. That girl is going to be a superstar. Yeah. Tatiana, I really do. I think he pulled that Brinks truck up to the head. He had it roll right up the driveway in Asheville, North Carolina. Right up to the drag, up the driveway, and probably Beth Phoenix came out first and said, "Oh my gosh," and the money came out, and hey, the rest is history. TK will pay anything for Edge. Yes, I believe that, Tatiana. So I would not be shocked he's here tonight. I would not be shocked. And if he's here, Christian Cage definitely gonna lose that title because he's gonna be shocked, and Luchasaurus probably gonna walk away from him. And he's going to lose that title. Darby's going to end up taking advantage of that. And then you're going to have something between Christian and Edge of what's going to happen. It's two great friends. Are they going to be friends? Or are they going to have some unfinished business to take care of? But, yeah, he probably will get Edge. He's got to do something to rebound from what just happened. And the whole thing is this. Who's the better get? Now, Edge is going to be the talk if he gets Edge for a little while. But who's the better get? Because man, Edge time was up, and older, injured, they got a little injury prone, but still, that's going to be a huge marketing tool for AEW. It's going to be something that's going to propel them if they use him right. But this thing with Jade Cargill, man, you just can't stop the bum rush. But it's not only Tony Khan doing this with WWE. Jim Crockett served that man so many superstars. It's not even funny. Roddy Piper. I can start with Roddy Piper. That was the first big superstar that left Jim Crockett Promotions, went up there. And he was huge. Went up there, became even a bigger star. Let's see. Jake the Snake Roberts. Same thing. Left Jim Crockett Promotions, went up there, became a huge star. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Left Jim Crockett Promotions, went up there, became a huge star. So it's been numerous. This ain't the first time, that Vince have taken a wrestler from somebody else and made this gigantic star. That's just him. World-class championship wrestling, lost the Ultimate Warrior to him. Yeah, became a huge, major star. So this is not the first time this happened. So Tony Khan, no need to be ashamed of it. That's just what Vince does. That's what the WWE does. And when you're a big machine like that, and a lot of people, they can't recognize what they have. Sometimes you have a superstar, and sometimes people don't want to acknowledge that. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes is a huge superstar, but the whole thing about it, he just couldn't get over with the AEW crowd, man. He could not. But Cody is somebody that could have elevated them to where they could have taken over that spot. My whole thing about it is 2 years ago when we first came into doing this, me and Chris, we used to tout AEW, but I saw problems from the get-go. Chris and our old partner Michael King, they loved AEW. They loved it because they couldn't stand WWE. They was along with the people, the haters that hated them. And I hated WWE because, like I say, I never liked them because of what they was doing when WCW was around. And Jim Crockett Promotions, I hated them ever since Vince McMahon had took over. But I came back with a different attitude when we started doing the show. I had a different attitude, and I'm like, man, why are people hating on this guy so much? But I understand. I hated him. I think he ruined wrestling to a certain degree. But I have to look at the big picture of wrestling and what he's able to do. And I mean, the guy's incredible. He's a flipping genius. And man, genius move on WWE. He wanted Jade Cargill from the get-go, even though he didn't get her the first time when she was there at the Performance Center before, when she tried out before. All right, next we have Eddie Kingston versus Yuri Shibata. So we got Eddie Kingston versus Katsura Shibata for the strong open weight and Ring of Honor championship. So Eddie Kingston is putting both titles on the line. I can tell you straight up, Eddie Kingston is going to hold on to those titles, guys. Even though he's going to have a battle on his hand, he's going to hold on to those titles. That's going to be a 4-star match, guys. 3.5 stars on the low end, but I say 4-star match. They are going to go at it. They're going to go at it hard. And Eddie, Eddie's a fighter. Eddie's going to fight, and he's going to put everything that he has into it, even though Shibata, man, is going to do a lot of things to Eddie, using his speed, using certain moves on Eddie, man, to pretty much slow him down. Eddie's not really a wrestler. Eddie is a brawler. He's a fighter. Eddie's going to fight his heart out, but I give it 4 stars. Next, man, we have Ricky Starks, the next huge star that's not being used exactly the way he should be used. Now, he is being, they putting him over and things like that on Collision. He's looking a lot better, but when it boils down to it, man, a person like Ricky Starks, you should have that trail already blazed. That road should be already paved. Those lines, man, those guardrails already should have been set. That yellow line in the middle of the road should have already been painted, and it should be straight lines. And it should be, everything should be, you shouldn't have no problem with Ricky Starks not becoming the huge star that we know that he can be. And so he's taking on Wheeler Yuta. And Wheeler Yuta is a very tough customer, great wrestler, became even a better wrestler when he was with Malachi Black. But he, to me, at first, he was a better wrestler before he got with Malachi Black and all them. But he became a sinister wrestler, became a great heel. But man, now Wheeler Yuta against Ricky Starks. I think Ricky Starks is still a heel now. So Wheeler Yuta, is he back what he was before? And I think he was great at what he was doing. So this right here, I think this right here is a 4-star match, man. Definitely 4 stars. I don't think it's a 4.5 stars. Some reason in Ricky Starks his matches just do not get up to that. He's had a couple where it did, but and Wheeler Yuta has the ability to do that too. I say 4.25, 4.25. They're gonna get close to it. It's gonna be a great match. This match right here. So I definitely look forward to that. Next, man, we got the Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros, and I hope this is early. Versus Lucha Bros versus Hook and Orange Cassidy versus the Guns in a 6-way. Winners get future AEW tag team title shot. Wow. The Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros versus Hook and Orange Cassidy versus the Guns. So it's an 8-way tag team match. So, excuse me. Wow. 3 stars, guys. 3 stars on this match. And I say, I say the Guns will take. At least that's what I'm hoping. My heart, I want the Guns to win this match. I think it's going to be Hook and Orange Cassidy. I think Hook and Orange Cassidy will take this match. It'll be a 3-star match, guys. And man, I wish they wouldn't have so many matches like this, because you got this one and you got the 6-man tag team match, you got this 8-man tag team match, and you have, starting off the night, you're gonna have the Acclaimed in a 3-way 6-man tag team match. They got too many matches like this happening in one night. I wish they wasn't having it, but right here, this seemed like pretty good, man. Seemed like a pretty good card. I say Wrestledream. Wrestledream looks like, I was thinking it was going to be like 3.5 stars. I say it looks like a 4-star lineup to me. It looks like it's going to be a 4-star show. So this right here, this show is worth watching, guys. So hey, it might be worth shelling out some bucks for this. I look forward to it. If Chris is at home, guys, we definitely going to cover it. So yeah, Wrestledream look like it should be a great night of wrestling, guys. So I look forward to that match, man. Straight up. All right. Let me see what else we got here. All right. It's getting late here. I got to take off in just a little bit, but I'm going to go over. Let me go ahead and tell you exactly, since I already went over NXT No Mercy, Bryan Danielson. Let me go ahead and finish up with everything I was saying here about AEW Wrestledream on this card. Bryan Danielson I got him over Zack Sabre Jr. Swerve Strickland takes Hangman Adam Page. I say FTR will take Aussie Open. No, Aussie Open. I think Aussie Open is going to take the titles from FTR. Then I have MJF versus The Righteous. I say The Righteous should win this match. But for some reason, something's telling me MJF is going to win this match some kind of way. All right. Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi versus Takashita, Sammy Guevara, and Will Ospreay. They're going to try. Man, did I say who's going to win this? I got to go and roll with Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, and Ibushi. I hope they take the match. All right, Christian Cage versus Darby Allin. I think Darby Allin takes the TNT Championship. Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart. Statlander wins it. Eddie Kingston versus Shibata. I say Kingston holds on to his titles. And then we got Ricky Starks. I think it will take Wheeler Yuta. He will win this match. Then the Young Bucks, Lucha Bros, Hook and Orange Cassidy versus the Guns. I say Hook and Orange Cassidy takes this match for some reason. I'm thinking they take the match, but definitely 4 stars, man, for the whole thing, guys. And let me go ahead and finish off. I said I'll go ahead and go over the boxing. So if there's any boxing periods or whatever, I'm definitely going to go over this quick. Talk about what's going to happen in this fight tonight between Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez versus Jamel Charlo. Guys, I'm a huge boxing fan. Haven't been watching it since we've been doing Straight Wrestling Show, guys. Really haven't. I did at first and used to, anytime there was a pay-per-view, I would go to the big boxing pay-per-view before it didn't matter what wrestling was on or whatever. Chris was on by himself, and I would go ahead and watch the boxing pay-per-view. But tonight it's a pay-per-view. Two of my favorite boxers going to be going at it. So Canelo Alvarez versus Jamel Charlo, and this right here is a I think it's a super middleweight fight. Both of these guys weighed in at 167.4 pounds yesterday. Was it 2 days ago? But when they weighed in, I think it was yesterday. And so Canelo Alvarez from Guadalajara, Mexico, versus my man Jamel Charlo from Houston, Texas. Let's see who's from Houston, Texas. D Skill H-Town. Both of these guys at 33 years old. Canelo Alvarez is 59-2-2 with 39 KOs. Great boxer. Jamel Charlo is 35-1-1, 19 KOs. Another great boxer, man. These guys are very skilled. Canelo Alvarez currently holds the WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF super middleweight championship. He's the super middleweight undisputed middleweight champion, super middleweight champion. Jamel Charlo is the junior middleweight champion, WBA, WBC, WBO, IBF. So he is the current undisputed junior middleweight, super welterweight, which most people like to look at it as he's super welterweight champion. He's 6 feet tall. My man, Alvarez, Canelo Alvarez is 5'8". I don't know why they got Sal Alvarez up there. I just like to call him Canelo Alvarez. It's confusing me, guys. And Canelo Alvarez reach is 70.5 inches. Jermell Charlo is 73 inches. Both of them have an orthodox stance. So they both orthodox stance. It's nobody being a southpaw or anything like that. This right here should be a great matchup. Jermell Charlo, the thing about him, man, you know, he's tall. He's 6 feet tall. He's a big welterweight, a big, you know, so he's moving up 14 pounds, but this man walks around like 170 something. He walks around, he's a big welterweight, and Sal Alvarez been at middleweight for a long time. Now he's at super middleweight, and he's done boxed, you know, he's done boxed all the way up to light heavyweight. He's knocked out light heavyweight champions and things like that. And his, you know, thing about him is he had some great fights against Triple G, who everybody was just looking at as a beast. Nobody thought Triple G could be stopped. Gennady Golovkin and my man Sal Alvarez, Canelo Alvarez. Wow, they got me saying Sal, but he beat him 3 times, man. And believe me, he beat him 3 times. I saw all 3 fights, even though people was trying to say that Triple G won a couple of those fights. He didn't. But those are people that have a little bias or whatever. A lot of people in boxing like to have bias and say, oh, he won the fight. Even when they see a guy lose a fight, they want to give it to the guy that's most popular or whatever. But yeah, Triple G lost those fights. Jermell Charlo only lost 1 fight, had 1 draw, and Alvarez has lost 2 fights and, you know, and had 2 draws or 2 no contests or whatever. But the 2 fights that Alvarez has lost, one of them was to Floyd Money Mayweather, or Floyd Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. And Floyd Mayweather is an excellent wrestler, man. I mean, excellent boxer. Caught up in wrestling, guys. Excellent boxer. There's no shame in losing to Floyd Mayweather. Great boxer. I mean, great boxer. And, you know, Canelo Alvarez, even though he's undefeated, I think he had won like 30 fights or whatever. He was going up against Mayweather, who's a master. And Mayweather just stayed away from him and just pot shotted him. You know, just sorry, guys. Let me finish this thing up. But yeah, so man, I've seen this guy do some incredible things in the ring. Sal Alvarez, great fighter. Canelo Alvarez, great fighter. So, and Jermell Charlo, great fighter, man, but doesn't have the power. In my opinion, doesn't have the power to slow down Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez will keep the pressure on Jermell Charlo, and I think that pressure is going to be too much. Now, Jermell Charlo, if he uses this jab effectively, he probably can keep Alvarez off of him. But Alvarez is so good; he's gotten so good defensively. He knows how to move that head. Knows how to come in. He knows how to get great angles. And Jermell being tall, that's going to be a disadvantage of him because, you know, he's throwing that straight jab. You know, he's going to have to be able to hook. He's going to be able to throw power shots and uppercuts and he's going to have to be able to connect. So he's going to have to be very accurate with his punches against Canelo Alvarez. And man, that's going to be hard to do. Both of these guys have great intangibles. So I think that's even. They're even there. But as far as speed go, I give Charlo an edge on speed. Defense, I'm going to give that edge to Canelo Alvarez. Defensively, it's going to be hard for Charlo to keep up a serious offensive attack on him. As far as so I really don't know. As far as power, I'm gonna go ahead and give Sal Alvarez edge on power because he has fought all the way up to super heavyweight. I mean, up into light heavyweight. He's been fighting bigger fighters. So, and he's been a middleweight all this time. And Jermell Charlo is moving up from super welterweight, which is junior middleweight, but it's basically a welterweight. So he's moving up, even though he is a natural bigger man. He's the naturally bigger man. I don't think he has the power to slow down Alvarez. And I can tell that by the 19 knockouts. You know, I've seen some of his fights and everything. You know, he is great, especially his power comes up. late in the fight, but against Saul Alvarez, I've seen Saul Alvarez against bigger punches. Now, Saul Alvarez, Canelo Alvarez. Why they got me saying Saul by looking at that name? Canelo Alvarez is slowing down, guys. He is slowing down. Well, people think he's slowing down, but the last fight he had was against this light heavyweight. I forgot the guy's name, Nick. Nick, I can't think of Nick's last name. He's a great boxer. He's a great boxer, undefeated boxer. He took Canelo out, even though I thought Canelo would win the fight, but he had Canelo's number 100%. But man, this right here, this should be an explosive fight tonight. Man, I look forward to this fight, but I'm going to have to watch this fight later because I think I'm going to be watching wrestling, or Chris and I will be at a wrestling show. But guys, hey, if you're not going to watch wrestling, you're not going to watch No Mercy tonight, you're not going to watch AEW Collision. Say, you got a choice between AEW Collision and WWE No Mercy. Check it out. If not, hey, go and check out one of your local wrestling shows. I know there's a lot of wrestling fans out here who's watching football. Hey, if your favorite football game on, I can understand why. But this right here, NXT No Mercy is good enough to bring your eyes to the TV to watch NXT No Mercy and AEW Collision. I'm sure they're gonna do their thing tonight. So definitely, hey, you can check them out if you don't have Peacock or whatever, or you just don't like the WWE. Check out AEW Collision tonight. But guys, I am out of here. Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate Tatiana coming in. Appreciate my man Ray Underwood and everybody else that stopped by to see what's going on with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. You guys have a good one. Talk to you later. Have a good night. Stay straight up. Peace.